your host, Lena B. So I know I've been missing in action, I should say. I haven't been doing my Sunday updates. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Can y'all see me? I don't know if it's shown, but yeah. Sorry. Like I said, welcome to Mending and Moving Forward with me, your host, Lena B, baby. But yeah, um, I've been missing a lot of my updates for this movement, of course, and I'm getting back on track. So I will start back doing Sunday updates, my Sunday update videos on live. And like I always say, I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, um, YouTube and Facebook for now until I get everything together. Get my little space for this podcast and everything. And yeah. So, anyways, this week we're basically talking about how would I put it? Going through your traumas and really how to help with your anger, because when you go through trauma, like you do tend to be angry at a lot of stuff, even though we tend to cover it up and smile through things. When we do get angry, it does kind of blow up at times. Um, I don't know if that's for everybody, but like I said, when I do my stuff is me opening up to y'all just like I would like y'all to open up to me too. So, um for me personally, like anger is my biggest thing when it comes to my traumas. Um I tend to be angry when stuff don't go my way. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that I'm working on. That has a lot to do with me feeling like I always have to control a situation. So yeah, it's something that I'm working on because I'm not perfect, y'all. None of us is perfect. You know, God didn't put us on this earth to be perfect. And like I say, every show I have, my disclaimer, I'm a big believer of God, so y'all always gonna hear me mention God, and I'm sorry if y'all don't believe in God. So yeah, that's my little disclaimer. I'm always gonna mention God because God has brought me this far. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the mother I am today. I wouldn't be the woman I am today, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I just I just wanted to talk about anger while going through trauma. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people don't acknowledge their anger. Like it's easy to suppress that, knowing that you do have anger. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us feel like as long as we going through life, we okay, we good, and we smile through it. Because it's real when people say, my outer appearance will never show how I feel inside. And that's something I'm very big on. Like no matter what I'm going on and what, no matter what's going on with me personally, I'm not gonna go outside and take it out on everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like I do know, like relationship wise, that is something I'm working on because I do tend to like if I'm upset or if I'm upset for the most part, I may take it out on them. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot completely admit to it, but I probably do it a lot. I can't even say maybe, but I probably do it a lot where I take how I feel out on that person and I don't do it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix this. Um, man, I don't do it purposely per se. I'm sorry, y'all. This thing won't stay up. I don't do it purposely. I just think that it's just like I said, the anger in me. Like I tend to can't control it, but like I said, my movement is all about healing and moving forward, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it. At the end of the day, that's all I could do. Work on it, and yeah. So like I'm gonna put a little like survey, I guess, or little post under our group, and y'all give me like ways y'all deal with anger. How y'all ideas. Because I'm not so good with it for the most part. Like for me, it's just suppressing it, and that's that. And I feel like pressure bust pipes. And that tends to be it for me. Like I hold it in as long as I can until my pipe busts. And I don't want to live like that for the rest of my life. So I am trying to find like coping techniques of how to cope with it until I'm completely healed from it. You get what I'm saying? Like I have tried. I love to take photography. I love to draw. I love to do tattoos, like stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I write. So for the most part, like for me per se, that kind of helps. You get what I'm saying? But being a parent, it's so hard to sit down and try to do your hobbies, especially as a single mother. You get what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to sit down and be like, oh, I'm gonna do my hobbies. You get what I'm saying? Like to be honest, like this right now, I don't consider it a hobby because I'm doing this movement not only for myself but for everybody who I'm doing this for everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like especially people who are going through trauma who don't have a safe space. Like this is our safe space that we could talk about whatever. You get what I'm saying? So I don't consider this a hobby. This is something that we all need. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got home. I couldn't miss doing my podcast. So you probably see me moving a lot. I'm real antsy right now. But like I'm gonna give y'all an example. So yesterday I got a phone call from a text message, sorry, not a phone call. A text message from a lawyer, like basically getting bad news when it comes to my son's case or whatever. And I was so angry. I was just thinking about, let's just say I was having bad thoughts. You get what I'm saying? And then I had to really sit down and, think about it. Like, let it go. It's not that serious. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no need to be angry out here. There's no need for it because you might take your anger out on the wrong person and then God forbid you ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? Or God forbid they ain't here no more and you end up where you don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all already, like I went to prison. So I just know it ain't for me. I don't want to go back. I got 4 beautiful children that I love the ground they walk on. And I'm gonna always love the ground they walk on. So I would never sacrifice that again. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe one day I'll tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, I anger could make you not aware of the mistakes you're making. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I just honestly, think that healing from anger is the biggest part of trauma. Of course, being misunderstood is the next thing. Like, if you don't have people in your corner when you're going through trauma, that'd be the next thing. You know, it's harder. You know, I honestly can't say that I don't have people in my corner. More like for me, I don't let people in my corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just come back to I just don't want to be upset when I feel like somebody doesn't understand me. So instead, I just stay to myself because I do know like I'm very easy to anger. So just to stay away from it and worrying about who understand me and don't understand me, I just stay away from everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like and that might be real unhealthy, to be honest, but that's just how I taught myself to cope with all my traumas for a long time. It took me to get into my adulthood to even open up to any of my parents about anything I've been through. You know, um, just I held it in so long that I became very angry. I became very closed off, stayed to myself. I didn't really care. And probably I'm still like that. I really don't care to be around anybody, whether it's family or not. Like, I just stay in my little bubble. Um, and I think when you've been through so much trauma, you tend to feel like an outcast, like you don't fit in with other people, or if you open up, people is gonna judge you, and stuff like that. Um, and that's the next reason why I don't really care to open up to certain people because I don't want to get angry. You know, I'm sorry, y'all. So yeah, I feel like anger is a big part of trauma. It can make you angry at the world. For me, I would say for a long time, like my anger was mostly towards men. Um, but I try my best to remember that or remind myself that I can't blame all men for what I've been through. So I've always tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, in the back of my head is like, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. If that makes sense. Um, and that kind of bubbled over into I don't trust anybody. um, so yeah, I I would say for the most part, the majority of my traumas don't hurt as much anymore. And there's some trauma that I've honestly forgave the person without physically telling them I forgave them, that I can still that I could talk about and it doesn't phase me per se. Um and of course there's certain things I can't talk about because yeah, it's still there, you know. Um but yeah. Like I said, anger is a most part of trauma that we really need to work on. And we will. I'm still putting together some like in person type of events that we can do pertaining to this movement. Um, and like I said, I am looking like if anybody know or anybody work at a school and just want me to come up there and talk to kids, talk to anybody, like, how can you see a child that's been through trauma and how to easily just ease on into it? Because I will say trauma is not like, especially when it comes to kids, it is not something that you could just go to them and just straight out ask. That's something that you have to ease into with them. So, I just really want to be able to give you signs, at least from what I was going through, to say, like, what were my signs. That may have been missed, of course, but what are signs of a child that's suffering through trauma or trying to cope through it? You know, um, I fought a lot growing up because it was just, hey, you blew on me too hard, I'm tearing your behind it. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, it was just, I really had to look at myself and I'm like, this is not the life I want. This is not the life I want my kids to see, like me angry and fighting. And I didn't want to be that angry woman growing up. And to me, it was why I always tried to heal from my anger was, what man want to be with an angry woman? To be honest, what man want to be with an angry woman? Because I know I wouldn't want to be with no angry man. So why would I want to put a man through me still being this horribly angry person and with no understanding? Because you can be so angry you have no understanding. And honestly, that's how I was. I was so upset. I didn't care what you had to say. I was just blowing up, and I still have moments like that where I feel, okay, I'll give you y'all the biggest thing that triggers me: comments about my children, where it may be situations like I really do need to sit down and listen. You know what I'm saying? And because that's such a trigger for me, I don't have no understanding. I just get upset, start talking out my ass, and it's done for. Just excuse my language. But it's just, that's something I'm working on. Like, because I've learned that what when you're in a situation you can't see what you're doing right, or you can't see what you're doing right or wrong. Not to say that you're doing something wrong, but when you on the outside and you looking in, you see things differently than the person that's inside. So I have learned that, like, at the end of the day, like, I need to be humble when it comes to stuff like that. Um, Anger could make you be, how I put it. Anger can even make you be like impulsive. It's it's a lot. So like I'm saying, like, it's, oh, anger real when you've been through trauma. So yeah, like, that's what we need to heal from, and we should really work on that this week. Healing from anger, finding ways to cope while we healing from it. Like I said, yoga may help. Um, Writing, if you love writing, coloring. There's so many things for the most part. I tattoo my own self. Like, when I'm really upset, I'll write to release are, I cook, write, color, draw, walk outside, go through the park, take photography. Like, it's a lot. Like, and of course, like, communication sometimes is a key. That I'm real horrible on communication. I'm not gonna lie. When I feel away, especially when it comes to relationships or anything like that, like, I can communicate when it comes to anything else. But when it comes to expressing myself, it's like this fear comes over me. And I tend to hold it in, and then I get angry, and I don't know. It's just a roller coaster of emotions. So, like I said, it's all about healing from our anger, of course, because that's what trauma brings. To be honest, anger, because it's going you go from being angry with one person to maybe being angry at all those person of that sex, to then you blame yourself, and you might even blame the people around you for not keeping you safe. Like, there's a lot of stuff your head might be going through, to be honest. Um, I'm scared. I think you go through a roller coaster of emotions, to be honest. I've probably been through all. Not probably, I have been through all. Um, Hate, anger, sadness, unworthiness, the whole nine. But now, woo, I think I'm the baddest thing walking. Let me stop. But I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I have the confidence out my behind right now. Um, and I'm proud of my age. I ain't even gonna lie. 34 years old, and I'm looking right. Let me stop. But yeah, I'm real confident in myself, and I don't make my trauma make me. I'm gonna make my trauma, to be honest. So, it's all about us just growing together. Cause if we ain't growing together, what we doing? What we doing, baby? We ain't doing nothing. So I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to see how I could. Oh, here we go. So I'm just glad to be where I'm at right now. I am glad to be where I'm at. I'm glad to be the woman I am. I'm glad to be the mother I am. Whew. I got 3 handsome behind boys. I got 3 of them. Damn, sorry y'all. I got 3. And I got